Hello everybody, it's Rick. It's November 4th, 2016. Getting ready to put my earpiece in so I can better record this so I don't get a scream. Okay, what I'm doing here is responding to this nonsense. What happened was I told you I was served papers for these balloon heads, and what I'm doing here is I'm returning them. I'm returning the summons. I'm not accepting service because one, family court has no jurisdiction to enforce a divorce agreement in the same state. What family court was created to do, and child support is a federal law. So what they did was, it's called the long arm jurisdiction. So like these family courts, if a woman lives in another state and she's not getting her child support, she can go to the local family court, and then they start all their criminal activity, and they start issuing all these income withholdings to your job, because once they get your information, which is why if you ever anybody that's watching my videos, anybody getting ready to go, if you're probably watching my videos, it's probably already too late, but if you know anybody, you tell them straight up, don't ever give them any information, don't ever bring any of those pay stubs, any of that stuff, because they must issue a warrant for that. What they do is they prey upon your ignorance, and most people are honest people. That's what happened to me. They got me. I was like, hey, I'll go there. I didn't do anything wrong. I walked in there with all my check stubs that I paid child support. I brought all kinds of receipts that I paid my kids' private schools, and they only cared about how much money I made. And then they said, oh my God, we can collect all this money and get all this 66% under the state incentive plan, for federal child support. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, getting back, they need a warrant for your information. Excuse me, I go off on these tangents sometimes. So you don't ever volunteer your information, because that's what they do. These criminals, they'll never tell you your rights. They're supposed to. Isn't it amazing how you watch all these television shows, and I noticed when I was a police officer, you ever notice how when you're arrested, they got to give you your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Do you ever notice how when you go to family court, they don't ever give you your rights? They don't ever tell you what your rights are when they're supposed to? I mean, because what are they doing? Are they not arresting your property? It's basically the same thing. It's your property. So, but they don't do that. They don't disclose any of this information, and they're supposed to. Okay, they're supposed to disclose it because underneath their own rules, what is it? 45 CFR 303.101 subsection C, part C2. They're supposed to go. They're supposed to honor due process. They never do. Part of due process is telling you your rights, and they're also not due process. They're not supposed to violate your rights. So, the summons I received, I'm returning, and for the reasons I just told you, and because these people are supposed to be law enforcement, they're supposed to check their records. I know this, because again, I tell you guys what I did for a living, so. Back in the day, if me and my friends we had somebody, we ran them, and we found out they had a warrant, we'd take them in, but we double check, triple check to make sure they really had a warrant before we put them through the system. That's what they're supposed to do, but they never do, because they just want you to get there into their court. They want to obliterate your rights, obliterate them, because they're not going to tell you anything. And then the best part is, I know all this stuff from going there all the time. I mean, when you go to family court, you can even barely get these people to give you directions to the bathroom. That's how miserable they are. They must be all trained to not be nice. I mean, I was teasing a woman there a few months ago. I was like, "What are you doing smiling? You're not supposed to be smiling in here." Because and then none of them, the clerk's office, they always tell you right away, we're not allowed to give you advice or any legal information. What a bunch of horse shit. Of course they can. They're not lawyers. They're not telling you what pay. It's supposed to be, they're supposed to help you. That's what they're there for. But they don't want to help you because if they help you, they can't steal your money. So I'm returning the summons. I'm not accepting service. You don't have to accept service, all right? My friend Amin Osiris reached out to me today, and he told me to send it back. I'm sending it back certified mail. I always do everything certified mail because they could always claim they didn't get it. I'm notifying this guy who's the clerk of family court, which is a bunch of nonsense. He's basically an administrator there. That's all he is. Because the real clerk is in family court. Child support is not a court, not part of the court. Okay, under 42 USC section 654 subsection 3, it states that it's a plan. Now, a plan is not a law. What it is the state plan so they can get their incentives. The federal law requires that every state sets up a system so they can collect their child support, so they can file their papers and receive their money. So they're to administer. What is administer? They're administering it. It's a plan. It's not a law. So that right there, when you read it, it states that it's not part of the court. So they're as I've told you many times in my videos, they're administrative hearings under the guise of judicial hearings. That's why when you go there, it's inside the court, but it's not part of the court. And that's why when a woman walks in, you all rise, and Your Honor, Judge, all this bullshit. It's all a play. It's a scam. It's an organized theft. I mean, if anybody watched my videos and the one video I had where I audio recorded her, this criminal, and I'm like, "Are you a judge?" "No, I'm a support magistrate." "Oh, but you're not a judge." So it's a scam. So why is everybody calling you judge? Or calling he or she, these support magistrates, judges? Because they want to convince you that you have to do it. So that's why they require your consent, but they never get it. They get your consent because you think you're being ordered to do it. And because we're programmed from television shows, you can't disagree with a judge. That's all a bunch of baloney. Judges are supposed to be impartial, and they're supposed to protect your rights under the equal protection of the laws. But of course, we know they never do that. So I'm sending these papers back to this clown, telling him, citing the case laws, that family court cannot enforce agreements. Now, the people watching my videos, I might be different than other you guys because, I'm not sure what everybody's situation is. A lot of people, they have children, they never get married. I was married, I had children. So I'm not even supposed to be in family court. But, I'm still a victim like everybody else. So, but the laws still apply to everybody else. Nobody can make you pay child support by stealing the money out of your paycheck. And that's how they get you. Because once that money is in the bank, they can't touch it. So what they do is they figure out a way by issuing these phony income withholding orders that look just like court orders, and that woman, that the video I was telling everybody about, that woman in Florida with the blonde hair, the black girl with the blonde hair, who was working for child support, and she just disclosed to everybody what we already know, is that the the employers of everybody that they have agreements with child support. So you got these employers who are contracted with child support, and they're getting paid from your money. Isn't that great? Well, that's a violation of the United States Constitution, because they're not allowed to get compensated from your money. And you know, a lot of people, you know, it's not your fault, not my fault. We did the responsible thing. You want to go out and get a job. You want to get a job where you're guaranteed you're not going to get fired later. So what do? You go get a city job, you get a government job, you get a state job, a county job, and what happens is that they make these agreements with all of these agencies. Like, I want to reach out to. I was talking to a couple of guys, or like exchanging communications. You know, I wanted to reach out to like the NYPD union boss, like say and say, listen, do you have any idea how many members of your department are getting violated because they're taking the money right out of their checks, and then to boot, the city and the state is making money off of it, and they have no right to do it. Because they get, the payroll gets it. They think it's a court order, and like, we got to do it. And also, I'm sure like their supervisor tells them they got to do it. I told everybody about my struggles with my pension system, that I caught them doing this, and they're battling me like this is still going on. Eventually, I'm going to have to take them back to court. I tried suing them, but this federal judge is protecting them by dismissing my case. But these things cost $400 a pop, and they know who I am. They're not going to give me a waiver under forma FORM, and it's a Greek term, not a Greek, excuse me, a Latin term, forma pauper or something. It's like you're a pauper, meaning you're broke. So if you don't have any income or any money in the bank, they'll waive the filing fee. But here's the thing: the filing fee is really for lawyers. But you know how it is. I've said it in my videos numerous times. They take these laws that apply to a small percentage of people, and they apply it to everybody, and it's up to you to object to it. It's unbelievable the way these things operate. I mean, you're raised to believe, that you're free, and then you watch all these stupid Ford commercials with these American trucks, freedom. 4th of July, you're waving the flag. You're not. We're not free. We're not even close to being free. I mean, you got to worry about parking your car on the street. If you're parked over a line and they write you, at least in New York City area, they bang you out for $115. And God forbid you fight those tickets. You'll never win those tickets. I mean, I used to, when I first was learning all this stuff, I was eager to fight everybody. And then I just found out by going through, fighting these people through the mail, you never win. They will never, you can show them pictures, they just always find you guilty. So you know what I do? I try to get tickets. Anyway, these are real fast. I got like a minute. This is how you make an order for court. You can, by the way, you can handwrite these things, all right? Here it is. If you want, you could freeze it. You put the court in the upper left side. You put a line stopping it. What I do here is I put the Constitution. You put the petitioner, that's you or whoever the other party is, you write it against here. You put all of the, your reasons, like a notice of motion, I'm objecting, I'm asking them to vacate the default order. I put all this stuff here. You put the file number, put another one of these lines. You could do this with a pen and write it out. And then you write everything out. You number the bottom of the page, right? And then on the last page, you put your name. And then this is an affidavit of service that you're serving the other party. And you have to have that. And then you bring it to the court, and then they stamp it, and you got your copy. All right. Listen, I appreciate everybody reaching out to me and saying the nice things. I really appreciate that. It helps a lot, and I hope I'm helping somebody. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.